Welcome to Idomas TV. My name is Johnson Joe, the founder of Idomas Laundries Production, where I produce laundry, bar soap, and all kinds of detergent making for the public for commercial purposes. So you are going to be learning how to make 40% profit in commercial laundry bar soap making at the comfort of your home. So if you are new here, consider subscribing and turn on the notification bell so that when we post new videos like this, you will be the first to be notified. And as you are watching this video, please consider leaving out a comment to know what you think about, okay? Nice having you. But before we start this production, let me first explain to you all the things you need to know about the class, just so you course into it. So let's dive into it, okay? Stay tuned. Now, in a nutshell, basically without giving you any measurement in this video, I will just quickly explain to you that the mixture of caustic soda to water is what you will have as light solution. And then your further mixture of this light solution to your bleach palm oil and pouring them into your molds and leaving it covered for few hours is what forms your thick hardened laundry bar soap through the process known as saponification. But you won't have to worry about these chemistry terms at all because it won't be necessary to understand them anyway. What you will have to understand in my training is that although the current cost of caustic soda has now become way too expensive for local homemade soap producers to make huge profit, but this won't be your case because I will be teaching you my method of making your light solution with a cheap soda ash instead. Soda ash is a completely different kind of industrial chemical, and by using it instead of a well-known caustic soda, you will be able to reduce your overall cost of production by over 40%, which also means increasing your overall profit by over 40% in the end. Another trick here is that you will learn how to make use of ordinary cheap calcium powder to increase the hardness and quantity of your bar soaps. This ordinary calcium powder is usually used by paint producers, and it is very cheap, which will also help you boost your profits, making even more in the end. One of the important features to consider when making a commercial laundry bar soap like my own here is to make sure that your soap foams very well in water, and you will have to buy additional foam booster in the market, which means adding more cost to your production. But in my training, you will learn how to make your own foam booster as well. But of course, aside from adding beautiful color and sweet fragrance to make your customers love your product even more, all these profit making tricks that I will be teaching you will help you make even more profit as you sell cheaper than others in your environment. As for me, I started counting 14 pieces to the retail shops for 1,000 naira, while they are selling it to their customers at 100 naira each. Meanwhile, other people in my environment are counting 12 for 1,000 naira. You can now imagine how I'm able to make more profit by getting more customers because I sell cheaper. Now, all these customers are buying in cartons, and the carton contains about 70 pieces for 6,000 naira. You can now imagine how much I'm making now. In less than 3 months, I've been able to buy a logistic bike that helps me to sell to even distant customers in my environment. The business is very lucrative. You can do it by yourself. You can start from the comfort of your home and supply it to retail shops in your environment, and you can make more profit. Even though you are a student, you can do it. Even though you are a graduate, you can do it. See you soon in the training. What is up, guys? Welcome back. It's still me, Johnson Joe. You know what? We're gonna go into the introduction to soap making. I want to learn the intro part of the soap making, how soap is being done with a process called saponification. But don't worry about all these things because I want to see how it is being made. After all this chemistry that we were learning in university, we did not really pay also. So it's just a kind of big grammar, but don't mind all those things anyway. The thing is, I want to teach you how soap is being made with the good process method. Okay? First of all, you will learn how to test your oil. After that, you now learn how to use a chemical to bleach the oil without having to boil it with firewood or buying any expensive gas for you to be doing that. The main essence of doing this is for you to be reducing cost of production while making more gain by at least 40% of the profit. So let's dive into it. Okay? Thank you. But before we can test oil, we have to know how to make a light solution. Light solution is a mixture of water to caustic soda. That's what I'm going to be using as our substance in testing the oil. And now I will be showing you a video of how to make a light solution at a concentration that it is perfect for you to test your oil. So not that we own a factory, although I'm the brand, like I'm just kind of the brain behind this Idomas laundry factory. So but we learn some of the things from other colleagues who are also in the factory. and just the brain behind it. So let's learn how to make a light solution so that we use that to test our oil. Thank you. The chemicals required for making 100 grams of 33% caustic lye are 1. Caustic soda 33 grams, 2. Water 66 grams, an empty jar and a stirrer. Now let's know the process of mixing. Step 1. Pour the 66 grams of water into the empty jar that you are having. Step 2. Add the 33 grams of that caustic soda into the water. Step 3. Stir the solution very well. At this point, you will notice that the temperature of the solution will continue rising, which will decrease after an hour. And then I would say, boom! 33% caustic lye is now ready. You can now use it. What would you say about that? Alright, you just saw what happened in that video. The person taught you how to make a light solution with concentration of 80% compared to the water. Now remember that the person said that the light solution is now ready for you to use, but for my experiment and for my practice in my own factory, I can tell that it's not ready. The thing is that since our oil here has to be very cold at the room temperature, therefore means that you have to leave your light solution to also be cold as the temperature of the oil, which means that you have to make your light solution at least in the evening and then use it the next day morning. So that is the only way you can use a light solution to test the oil you are going to buy in the marketplace. And after that, I will be showing you how to use the light solution, how to use the oil to bleach it with a chemical without having to buy any expensive firewood or buying any cooking gas for you to do that. Just with 2 drops of 2 chemicals, you are good to go. Okay? Thank you. And let's dive into the video. Now, having known how to make a light solution for your oil testing, which you have learned so far, and how to preserve it at the room temperature for you to use it in your marketplace to test the oil. Now let's see how you can use that light solution to test the oil. To determine the right oil for us to use in the production, we had to go to the market and we carry out the entire process of oil testing in almost 3 steps. Step 1. At the market, we collected 3 sets of oil samples from 3 different vendors to help us determine which one will be perfect for our cold process laundry bar soap production. But we first started the comparison with oil sample A and B. We measured out our oil from the 2 samples and our 33 caustic lye solution into our mixing oil at the ratio of 2:1, meaning that the quantity of oil used with the 33% caustic lye solution was twice that of the caustic lye solution. This is how you will also have to do it when you get to the market to test your oil before buying it for your soap making production. Step 2. We first started testing the oil in sample B by adding one part of our caustic lye solution into the 2 parts of our oil sample. We just started stirring it up for about 3 times and the mixture is already sticking up, bringing up some water at the bottom of the mixing bowl. This means that this oil had already separated and will not be good for our cold process soap making. Step 3. We tried testing the oil in sample A by also adding one portion of the caustic lye solution into the 2 portions of our measured oil in the sample. Though while mixing it up, we noticed that it didn't quite become thickened up as that of the first one in sample B, but there was a little bit of water coming out of the mixture, showing that the oil has separated a little bit and didn't give us a complete soft homogeneous blend to be sure that there will be no separation at the end if we choose to buy this oil in sample A. So we decided to drop it anyway. Although if we were to go for any of the 2 samples, we would have gone for sample A. But since we had one more sample to test, we decided to press further. I'm not saying that these oils cannot be used for soap production. It's only that it will not work with our method of production here in this type of laundry bar soap making. Because this our bar soap making production will be on a method of cold process. But if you are to make the soap production in hot process method, either of these oil in sample A and B would be the best for you to use. Although it will not really be the best, but at least it will be okay for you to use. Step 3. We had to test the remaining 3rd sample from the 3rd vendor, which we label sample C. With the same method as those ones in sample A and B, we also measured 2 parts of the oil into the mixing bowl. And then added 1 part of our caustic lye solution to continue mixing it up while noticing the changes as well. Now, unlike the other 2 samples, we had stirred this oil in sample C for more than 6 times and it didn't quickly become thicken up and bring out water at the bottom of the mixing bowl. Instead, it became very blended, homogeneously and creamy, showing that this oil in sample C will be perfectly fine for our production if we decide to buy it from the vendor. Now take a closer look at these 3 samples from these different vendors. Even without no one telling you, in the end, you will be able to choose who to buy from after testing these oils. The truth is that you must always go with your 33% caustic lye solution to test your oil before buying it from the market. I hope you understand.